Over the next 30 days, I'm going to be challenging myself to become my future self. And that's by doing the actions required to see the results that I desire. Many of us, we have these dreams and these goals to make a lot of money, to live the lavish life, and all that good stuff. But the one piece that we forget is who we need to become. Fall in love with the process, not the destination. And that's what a lot of people get wrong. And I'm going to help you uncover how to overcome that. Reason being is when you chase after the end result, you suffer from burnout, you suffer from, what's the word I'm looking for? You suffer from, like, if you don't achieve a goal, you just say, damn, I failed. And then you give up, right? But when you focus on the person that you need to become, the game becomes fun because you can control everything that you do. You can't control outcomes that happen. But if you do the required work, you will see those outcomes. I can almost guarantee it. Why? Because I've seen so many successful people do it. And they all say the same thing. Do the work, be consistent, stay focused, disciplined. And that's what they did in order to become successful. So if that is something that you're seeking and searching, become your future self. It's easier to fall in love with becoming the new you than it is chasing after these endless goals that you've always been chasing. And I also learned, this is how billionaires think. They think in a term or with a principle called first principles. You break it down to the nitty gritty, the root of your problem or the root of what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And with first principles, how we grew up is we believed without verifying. We trust instead of just verifying. So what we need to do is figure out what's the absolute truth. What's the truth? What's the root cause of me not doing XYZ? What's the root action that I can take? So, for example, I want to become a billionaire. So how do I become a billionaire? I got to figure out how to become a millionaire before a billionaire. And before becoming a millionaire, I got to make sure I can make 1,000, 100,000. Before 100,000, I got to make 10,000. Before 10,000, I got to make 1,000. Before I make 1,000, I got to get that first person to believe in what it is that I'm doing, or the first couple of people to believe what it is that I'm doing. Now, getting to that 1,000, how do I get to that 1,000? I got to start acting as if I already made that 1,000, or acting as that person that made $1,000, because everything comes in steps. Take everything in strides. Creep before you walk. Many of us, what we do is we say, all right, here's step 1, let me get to step 50. No, you got to step 1, then step 2. Sometimes you can skip steps, but that's only after you have a momentum going or you know what it is that you're doing. So if you don't have a process in place, you can't be doing that. So you got to start slow. Figure out your plan first. If you're going into war with yourself, that's how you have to look at it. Every day is a battle between you and your mind. Your mind is to protect you, and it doesn't want you to fail. So it's like, oh no, don't do this, please. I don't want you to fail. You got to tell your mind, yo, shut up. I'm going into war with you, and I'm not letting this happen. I'm changing my future outcome. So what you got to do is saying, what is it? So let's say in 5 years, I want to become a billionaire. So how do I do that? I got to create something super massive that somebody will pay a lot of money for, and that's a business. So I create a business that somebody would want. How do I get there? I got to build up the demand for it. There's many different things I can do. So let's think of solving a problem. Solving a problem that a lot of people have. That's the simplest way to achieve your goal, if your goal is to make $1 billion. But you got to peel the layers back. How do you get to $1 billion? You got to hit the million first. How do you get to $1 million? You got to get to 100,000. How do you get to 100,000? You got to get to 10,000. How do you get to 10,000? You got to get to 1,000. How do you get to 1,000? You got to get 1. And you got to literally just keep peeling the layers back. And you got to keep peeling the layers back. You have to get down to the smallest increment or the smallest number and start there. Once you pick up that momentum, things happen for you. Many people just want to go 0 to 1,000 real quick, and it doesn't work that way. Me, I thought that too. I got to start with something. And As of today, I'm going to be using my 28-day calendar so that I can structure my days better to be able to keep a flow of things when I find that something is working. Along with the structure, I'm going to start using this as my documentation device. Like literally every day, come on, create a video, post it on YouTube, and let you guys know what's happening. Whether it's in the morning or it's at night. So that's 365 days to becoming my future version of myself. Every day, come on here, just doing something. One, it holds me accountable because I'm documenting it, showing you guys. Two, somebody's gonna see this and they're gonna get inspired to live out the life that they truly desire by doing the actions required to have that life. Sometimes you need to hear that story of somebody else to get that courage to go out there and do it yourself. And so far, I inspired one person to do it, and I feel proud of them, and I feel proud of myself because that's always been my mission, to go out there and if I can change one life, I'm doing God's work. And this person, they were a teacher. And because they heard my story, they got inspired by me to start their own business. And they're doing so well for themselves. Like, they went out there and they hit the ground running. Like, created their business, their whole plan of how they're going to run it, and now they're getting clients. Now, that's not to say that's all my doing, but I inspired them. Like, I planted the seed, and the seed got the water, and now it's being nurtured. They grew roots. So trees go in two directions. That one person, I planted the seed and it did its job. It planted its roots and it grew. That's it. That's all I needed to do. I didn't have to do anything else. The hardest thing to do is saying I'm going to transform my life and become the future version of myself over the next year. 1 year is a very long time, but it also can pass you by very fast if you don't pay attention to it. And I'm going to become intentional with my time by making videos every day, posting what I'm doing, my failures, everything, because it's the easiest way for me to see how far I have come, how much I have grown. And if you're somebody that is going through something similar, we can do this together, become accountability partners. Like, I created a group for people called the Wealth Builders Academy that want change in their life, but they're just struggling to do it on their own. So why not do it with a group of people, a group of like-minded people? Like they say, if you're in a room full of millionaires, you're bound to become one too. So why don't we work together towards the same common goal? And so think about it. 1 year is hard, but you know what's harder than 1 year? The first 6 months. You know what's harder than the first 6 months? The first month. You know what's harder than the first month? The first week. And you're probably catching on to what I'm saying. You know what's harder than the first week? The first day. And you know what's harder than the first day? The first hour. I'm not even going to bring it down to the minute, but it's the first hour. It's the decisions that you make today that leads to the future success of tomorrow. That's a bar. Decisions today leads to your future success tomorrow. I want you to really take that in. What's the actions you're going to do today for the future success of tomorrow? You go to the gym to lose weight, gain muscle, whatever it may be. The first day you go, are you going to see something? No. The second day you go, are you going to see something? No. The first 30 days, you may start to see something. The first 90 days, you're really in the groove of things. You're making sure that you're intentional and you go every other day and you're losing the weight, you're shedding the body fat. The first 6 months, you're happy with yourself. You look different. It started with the first day. It's either day one or 1 day. You choose. I choose day one, and today is day one for me. Because when I reflect back on this day, I'll be like, I'm so proud of myself for taking that first step. I'm going to hold myself accountable. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I'm going to become my content. I'm not going to do all this editing and all that stuff because you know why? It creates friction. I'm just going to enjoy the journey of just coming on my phone, uploading, and letting you guys know what I'm doing. Because in a year's time, I'm going to take this. I'm going to be happy with myself. I'm going to take all these videos because I documented it, take the transcripts, and make a book from it. Take that book, and I'm going to sell that book. I'm going to sell that book because it's my journey. And whoever has a similar situation like mine, they're going to resonate with it, they're going to pick it up, and then they're going to be inspired to set their journey for the next person. One thing that I've learned from all the people that I follow and my mentors, they all started from somewhere. They all sucked. That's a guarantee. They all sucked. The great thing is about business, you can suck and you can become good after. Nobody starts by being good at first. You don't have to worry. It's not like sports. Some people just got that raw talent. This is business. You can develop the skills to become good. Once you develop the skills and become good, nobody can take that away from you. You have that for life. So if you make $1 million, guess what? You can do it again. And then you can do it again and again. It's a repeatable process that you can continuously do. That's what I love about business. And because if I create a formula, it's something that other people can model as well. But you have to remember, not one shoe fits all or one size fits all. When you do find something that works for you, you have to stick with it long enough to see the results of it. You need to get feedback. Feedback, that is what helps you grow. Because once you have the feedback, you can be like, okay, this didn't work, let me try something else. If I try this out for, you know what, God rest my cousin's soul, because this is something that he said to me, and like, I don't know why, but it takes like years before something clicks for me. He said, try it for 1 year, and if it doesn't work, move on. So I'm gonna try this for 1 year. I'm gonna listen to his advice. Like I can hear him talking to me from the clouds above. Stick with it for 1 year. And I think that's the message he's always been just trying to pour into me. Stick with it for 1 year. And this year, I got humbled. And I surrendered myself to God. My life is not the way I want it to be going right now, and I'm just going to be transparent with you guys. A lot of bad things have happened to me this year. And not even just me, to my family. I put my family in a very bad situation. Why? Because I was very arrogant and I didn't humble myself. Watching Jamie Foxx special kind of just showed me like, yo, when you think you're higher than everybody, even the man up above, he humbles you so quick. And I heard this from somebody else too. They were on their high horse, and then God just humbled them. And God's humbling me right now. I've been stripped of everything that I've had. When I mean everything, money, cars, assets, I'm starting from ground zero. And I'm just being real with you guys. And it's because I was so arrogant, not doing things with God on my side, doing it thinking that I control everything. But I don't. The only thing I can control is myself. And the first thing, it's like one event happened after another. And Jamie said something so like authentic yesterday. He's like, God, why is this happening to me? Why did I have a heart? This doesn't happen to me? Like, why does this happen to Jamie? And God said like, yo, you don't control what happens. I control what happens. And he almost died. He couldn't walk. Like, God had to humble him to show him like, yo, you can't do nothing without me. Like, everything is through me before you. And it's like, and I heard this guy say it to me earlier in the year, like, through strength, or I can do anything through Christ who strengthens me. Don't quote me on that. I'm still trying to learn the Bible, so, you know, take time with me. But hearing all these things is like, yo, stop trying to do everything on your own. Like, humble yourself. Like, you need to do this with God. You need to seek or you need to go reach out to God before doing anything. And I started picking up my Bible, reading, because these are the things that I need to do. And it's like, figure out, like, why is he trying to do this through me? And Jamie also said, how come you're not doing this to all the people that are bad? And he's like, you know what? I don't, those people, they're already with somebody else, not through me. They're gonna meet their maker. And when he said that, I was just like, like, I don't want to be dealing with that side. So what I look at is like, every negative has a positive, and one can't exist without the other. These are a lot of negatives happening to me, but you know what? It could be worse. It could be much worse. And it's like, what do I learn from this? I gotta learn to trust God. Everything will happen in its time. My mission is to help people become a better version of themselves, but also spread the message of God as well. Now, I'm not going to be in your face throwing it, but there's a lot of deep messages in the Bible. And if you look in the Bible, there's a lady. She lost her husband, and he was the main provider. She went to his master and said, like, I have no money. Like, what can I do? And he's like, first you got to seek the answers. And the answer starts within yourself. Believe in yourself. Surrender to your master. And you'll have the things that you need. So she surrendered to her master. She borrowed money. She borrowed money to start a business. And when she borrowed that money, she needed to find something to sell. So what did she sell? She sold oils. And she did that through her family. So she started a family business. She made her sons go around door to door asking for bottles to package the oil. From the oil, she used that and sold it. Now, before paying back her master right away, or the person she borrowed the money from, she took that and she reinvested it back into her business. And she kept doing that till she made enough money. When she made enough money, then she paid back off her debts, and then she had a system to continuously sell oil. And she kept doing that. And it's because she did those things, she was able to get out of her situation. Now, you're maybe facing something similar. We're all going through something. Life is not just something where you just wake up and like, it's a breath of fresh air. We all have problems. Even the people with lots of money have problems. But it's how you handle those problems. That's the part you need to focus on. A thought came to my head: success leaves clues. Now, sometimes it doesn't make sense until it makes sense. For example, every day I wear tracksuits or jogging suits. What's the purpose of a tracksuit or a jogging suit? To do exercise. But I don't do exercise. So it's leading me to say, you know what? If I want to be that future version of myself, lose weight or be healthy and fit, I got to start doing those actions. Whether it's running, exercising, whatever it may be, I got to start doing those actions. I save videos on Instagram and TikTok of exercise, but I don't do it. I wear tracksuits every day and running shoes, but I don't run or do anything, or sweatsuits to do anything. I have to start doing those actions. It's like when you wear a suit to a meeting, you're dressing, well, it's like the standard, but you're showing the person that you mean business. You're serious, right? You're not coming in pajama pants and a rip-up tee and whatnot. So I got to start embodying that. Whether it's a 5-minute run, 50 push-ups, something or another. I got to challenge myself to do things that's uncomfortable. Or it's like, get comfortable being uncomfortable. I'm comfortable in these clothes, but I got to become uncomfortable in these clothes, if it makes sense. A lot of thoughts are just coming, and that's the whole purpose of documenting, just brain dumping. Everything just needs to come out. Maybe 2-3 people watch these videos. Hey, who cares? So be it. In a year's time, videos get better because I'm just working on 1% each day. When I start making money, guess what? I'm not going to use that money and be like, I made $5 or I made $100. No, I'm going to take that money and reinvest it back into me, into my business, to grow my business. You're going to watch this video, and then you're going to watch the video in 365 days, and you're going to see a major difference. You're going to be like, whoa, this guy's videos are crispy. Oh, I love the edits behind these. You know why? Because I reinvested back into my business. And I got somebody. Instead of me trying to figure it out, there's a book called Who Not How. Instead of, how can I do this? who can help me solve this? I'm going to take the money I make, give it to somebody else and be like, fix my problem for me, please, by editing my videos and making them look better. So you're not going to see me in the car. You're going to probably see me in a studio, or you're going to probably see me walking, and it's just going to be fancy. This is me speaking things into existence, my future self, manifesting. Because I'm saying it, now I need to do the actions to see these results. They say you create stuff twice. Once in your mind and second in reality. It's already been created in my mind. Now I got to create it in reality. So that's called congruence. Your actions must match your words. I need to do the actions to match my words. Once I'm congruent, that's one component of building confidence in myself. Confidence, you need congruence. Actions must match the words. Once I have that, that's one thing off my belt. Then I got 4 more C's to tackle. Complete. What's the other? Complete, confidence, connection. There's a few others. I'll maybe list it in the video if I have time. If not, it's in one of my other videos. But that's the actions that I'm going to be taking for my future self. I'm excited for this journey. My face probably doesn't go, yeah. I'm just not a guy to smile at that. But trust me, deep down inside, I'm happy right now. I'm happy because this is day 1 of the new version of me. It's winter time. It's December. It's 2024. Documenting it. December the 15th, I believe. Yes, December the 15th. I'm documenting it. December the 15th, 2024. Documentation rules the nation. When you document, you see a whole new life. And I think video and audio works best for me because guess what? I say because and guess what a lot. But that's how I wrote my first book. I documented everything. Why did it tell me to go this way? I documented it, my process. And when I documented that process, it led me to writing my first book. No editor, I did have an editor, but no formal education on how to write a book, none of that stuff. I figured out on my own and I just did it. No publisher, self-publish, and sold 3,000 copies. Anything you put your mind to, you can do it. You can figure it out. Sometimes it takes a bit of time, but you can figure it out. And you know how you get to a solution faster? You find somebody that's done it before you and ask them how they did it. That's the ultimate life hack. Figure out who did it, ask them, get them to show you. That will cut your learning curve tremendously. You'll only have to do it a fraction of what they had to do.